How much stuff have you said, David, that's came true? Does it scare you, the stuff that has came true, and go, I fucking told you so? Do you sit back and go, told yous?
No, I don't. What I do is I point out when things happen that I said them, but I don't way back. But I don't say, see, told you so. I do it for a reason, and this reason. If I knew about it 20, 30 years ago, it's not random, is it? Mm-hmm. It's not just happening. It's planned. Otherwise, I couldn't have known it. How could Orwell have known it? How could Huxley have known it? And these other people that I quote, how could they have known it? How could someone I quote in the books, a Rockefeller, big-time Rockefeller insider, have described the internet that was coming in 1969? How could he have done that? How could he have said in 1969, we are going to make boys and girls the same? How would he have known that? Because there's a plan, and it's projected much further ahead than people
realize. The
realize.
plan for the people controlling the world maybe are 100 years ahead, 200 years ahead.
Yeah, because it's another big story. Once you go off into another force that's not human, their timeline and their projections are not the same that we live in, where we, if you're going down a river on a canoe, you see as far as the next turn in the river. But what if there's a force that can see the whole river from start to finish? Then they have a completely different timeline and a completely different ability to project the future. How did George Orwell know about smart TVs? Smart TVs, and we're only seeing Mark 1, 2, 3 at the moment, not where they're planned to go. They have cameras in them and microphones in them that can film you in your front room and record your conversations in your front room. Well, it's admitted. Somebody found them, and then they had to admit that it was true. In 1984, which came out in 1948, George Orwell was talking about in the 1984 society that there were telescreens in every home, and the telescreens were constantly filming you.
But Big Brother's watching.
Big Brother's watching. So, because it's projected long into the future, if you can access that, either because you're an insider or 30 years of bloody research full time, then you can predict the future. Because the simple thing is, if nothing intervenes to stop that process unfolding, that will happen. So you can predict the future. The whole point of what I do is to alert enough people eventually to all these things that there is an intervention, and it is stopped because a few people, and it is a few in full knowledge in the shadows, cannot manipulate and direct the lives of 7.7 billion because they don't have the numbers. To do it, they have to manipulate the perceptions of the population, which becomes the behavior of the population. Thus, the population behaves in a way that the few can control the many. And the key factor above all other factors is to keep that target population in complete ignorance of what you're doing. And so the more that you can uncover it and communicate it, and people become aware that this is happening, and thus events in the world are happening because of this and not randomly, the more chance there is of an intervention and the population saying, we're not having it.